When American archaeologists discovered a collection of cuneiform tablets in Iraq in the late 19th century, they were confronted with a language and a people who were at the time only scarcely known to even the most knowledgeable scholars of ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians. The exploits and achievements of other Mesopotamian peoples, such as the Assyrians and Babylonians, were already known to a large segment of the population through the Old Testament, and the nascent field of Near Eastern studies had unraveled the enigma of the Akkadian language that was widely used throughout the region in ancient times. But the discovery of the Sumerian tablets brought to light the existence of the Sumerian culture, which was the oldest of all the Mesopotamian cultures. Although the Sumerians continue to get second or even third billing compared to the Babylonians and Assyrians, perhaps because they never built an empire as great as the Assyrians or established a city as enduring and great as Babylon, they were the people who provided the template of civilization that all later Mesopotamians built upon. The Sumerians are credited with being the first people to invent writing, libraries, cities, and schools in Mesopotamia, and many would argue that they were the first people to create and do these things anywhere in the world. For a people so great, it is unfortunate that their accomplishments and contributions not only to Mesopotamian civilization, but to civilization in general, largely go unnoticed by the majority of the public. Perhaps the Sumerians were victims of their own success. They gradually entered the historical record, established a fine civilization, and then slowly submerged into the cultural patchwork of their surroundings. They also never suffered a great and sudden collapse, like other peoples of the ancient Near East, such as the Hittites, Assyrians, and Neo-Babylonians did. A close examination of Sumerian culture and chronology reveals that the Sumerians set the cultural tone in Mesopotamia for several centuries in the realms of politics, governments, arts, literature, and religion. The Sumerians were truly a great people whose legacy continued long after they were gone. Sumerian culture originated in what is known as the Fertile Crescent, particularly in southern Mesopotamia between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Southern Mesopotamia, which is often referred to as Sumer, is known for its rich alluvial soil, but also its scarcity of other commodities such as timber and precious metals. Soils and rivers provided ample food to sustain a large population, but the lack of other resources did not hamper the development of Sumerian culture. In fact, as will be discussed below, it may have instead provided an impetus for the Sumerians to expand beyond Mesopotamia. Much is known about the setting of Mesopotamia through archaeological and geological analysis, but far less is known about the actual origins of Sumerian people. The peopling of Mesopotamia was a long process. In fact, by the time when the first documents were written there, 3100 BCE or so, the region had already been inhabited for over 2,000 years. However, where the Sumerian people may have originally lived is a source of scholarly debate. Some scholars believe that the Sumerians originated in India and may have been immigrants from the enigmatic Indus Valley civilization, but there is little in archaeological or linguistic evidence and no historiographical evidence to support such a theory. Another migration theory places the source of the Sumerian people in the Caucasus Mountains region. The Caucasus region is also the source of the Indo-European peoples and some Uralic Italic-speaking peoples. Some linguists have identified similarities in the structure of Sumerian and some Uralic Italic languages, which may point to its relation. That said, tracing the origins of languages can be a difficult endeavor at any time, and placing definitive connection.
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions because they kind of think they already know the answer.
Of a language to a people can sometimes be problematic. Unless there is a way to know exactly when a group adopts a language, then it is difficult to trace the group's origins. Most scholars who advocate some type of Sumerian migration or invasion hypothesis do so because the Sumerians were non-Semitic-speaking people who lived in a predominantly Semitic-speaking Mesopotamia. Since there is no evidence that can definitively say where the Sumerians originated, some scholars advocate that the Sumerians were present in Mesopotamia from the earliest times. Ultimately, until more evidence is discovered, it is impossible to say if the Sumerians migrated to Mesopotamia from elsewhere or if they had always inhabited the region. Although it may never be known where and if the Sumerians came from somewhere outside of Mesopotamia, by about 4000 BCE, they had planted the first seeds of civilization. Early Mesopotamian culture divided into different phases that are named for the cities that archaeologists have determined played a central role in development. The point in Mesopotamian history where the Sumerians can be definitely identified is the Ubaid phase, which lasts from around 4500 BCE until around 4000 BCE. The Ubaid phase was a significant departure from the earlier Neolithic phases in Mesopotamian history as the Sumerians began to build cities and develop other features that are considered essential aspects of any civilization. While the Ubaid phase was important in the development of Mesopotamian civilization, it was the Uruk phase that truly established the Sumerians as cultural torchbearers. The Uruk phase, which lasted from approximately 4000 to 2900 BCE, is distinguished from the Ubaid phase by its pottery. Although the Ubaid and Uruk phases are considered two distinct archaeological periods, most scholars argue that the cultural differences between the two phases were minimal, and that the absence of any non-Mesopotamian pottery militates against the inspiration for the Uruk culture coming from outside Sumer. When one considers an optimal location for a primary civilization, Uruk, by most accounts, would not come to mind. Located just inland from the Persian Gulf marshes, Uruk was forced to rely on irrigation for its agricultural purposes as it was on neither the Euphrates or Tigris rivers. Although writing was first invented in Uruk, it came relatively late in the cultural phase, and because of that, modern scholars are forced to make guesses as to the city's population during the period. Most assume that the agricultural output from the surrounding rural area was high enough to support a regional center and true city, which means that Uruk was the world's first true city. Although Uruk was not the only city that the Sumerians built during the Uruk period, it was by far the greatest archaeological and written evidence concerning early Sumerian culture. Uruk went from being the world's first city to the most important political and cultural center in the ancient Near East in relatively quick fashion. Around 3200 BCE, the Sumerian Uruk culture began to expand beyond the borders of Sumer, which coincided with the emergence of writing. The form of writing that the Sumerians developed became known by its Greek name, cuneiform, for the wedge-style characters that it employed. Writing, like many other inventions throughout world history, appears to have been created because of necessity. As the Uruk culture grew, the Sumerians needed to develop a sophisticated form of record-keeping, which could only have been done through writing. Despite being used exclusively for the Sumerian language at first, the cuneiform writing system was later adapted and used by a number of different languages in the ancient Near East, such as the following: Akkadian, Hittite, and Old Persian. Along with the emergence of writing, the Sumerians developed a sophisticated artistic style during Uruk period that would influence later styles in the ancient Near East. Among the many pieces of art that have survived from the Uruk period, perhaps none capture the essence of the culture more than the Uruk vase. The Uruk vase, whose location is currently unknown after it was stolen from the Baghdad Museum in 2003, but then returned 4 years later, is a large alabaster vase that depicts a scene of men being gifts to a deity on 3 separate registers. The Uruk vase is the earliest representation of such a scene in Mesopotamian art, and it influenced similar scenes that were often depicted on reliefs of royal palaces through the Neo-Assyrian period. Another artistic style that appears to have been first developed by the Sumerians during the Uruk period, which was replicated centuries later by the Assyrians, was the royal lion hunt motif. On one particular stela, which was housed in the National Museum of Baghdad, a hunter dressed in possibly royal garb hunts lions with a bow. It may be that the lion hunt scene from Uruk is a commemoration of a marshland reclamation project, but the badly damaged relief is not accompanied with a text, so it is not for certain if the scene was meant to depict an actual event or if it belonged in a religious or ritual context, which would mean that scene would have a more symbolic or metaphorical meaning. Purpose. It is hard to ignore a possible Sumerian influence on the numerous lion hunt scenes that
right now. Join Planet Fitness for no enrollment and make your move in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for no enrollment, $10 a month.
Assyrian king Ashurbanipal adorned his palace with nearly 2,500 years later. Perhaps even more impressive than the Mesopotamian artistic styles that the Sumerians established during the Uruk period was the monument building they initiated. The emergence of ceremonial monument building in southern Mesopotamia is thought to be the impetus that sparked urban development. Temples were believed to be the house of the patron deity of a particular city, so goods were often received and distributed at the temple complex. By the late Uruk period, temples were by far the largest.
The Church of Scientology made a whole thing about Mesopotamian writings. Say that alien gods, the Anunnaki, are gonna come back in the spaceships and take them away, man. You know what I'm saying? Go back to Kepler 37b or whatever, in the Andromeda Quadrant. You know, because that's what the Sumerians and the Mesopotamians said, man. You know, Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? The god Anu. You know, his kids, Enlil and Enki, man, they love that shit, man. Eat that shit right up. Oh, I know. I know, man. Hey, I read a lot of shit. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about everything. Yeah, Scientology is motherfucking crazy. In ancient Mesopotamia, the first civilization told of their creators. I used to believe that shit, for real. That shit sound good, man. That shit is such a cool ass story, man. That shit sound cool as fuck. Make you want to believe that shit. But then you be like, proof. And they look at you like, huh? And then you say, can I have some proof? And they look at you like, proof? What's proof? And then I'm like, nah, never mind, man. Y'all can't prove this shit to me. It just sound cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You can't prove that shit, man. Come on, man. Prove that shit to me. That's what I don't fuck with. Goddamn Scientology. I don't fuck with nothing religious. That shit put you right in a little box. I don't like being in boxes. Don't put me in no box. I ain't following your shit. I'll listen to you. What you got to say? Some of that shit sound interesting. All right, have a nice day. I ain't about to jump in that box with you. I ain't about to get in no box. I kind of remember Battlefield Earth with I can't think of the main actor's name now. The white dude from Swordfish. Damn, what the motherfucking name is? Real popular. But that was one of the most terrible, and I'm a sci-fi buff. I love science fiction. Aliens, spacecraft, shooting spaceships and all that. Man, I love that shit, man. Battlefield Earth was so fucking corny, bro. I remember the movie. I don't remember like nothing about it or how that shit ended. It was just like, what? Shit is corny. John Travolta. He was one of the stars of Battlefield Earth. That shit been so damn corny. That movie been super stupid. I might watch Will Smith and young Jaden in AE, After Earth. You remember that one? That was a good sci-fi movie where the aliens fed on fear. So if you was a walker or whatever, motherfuckers just walk by the aliens because they ain't scared of shit. Yeah, AE. That Sumerians and all that shit, man. Talking about the Sumerians being the first civilization. I still really doubt that shit. Because they weren't black people. They were like middle brown people. I still think Sub-Sahara is the origins of civilization. You can look up the Black Mummy on the Green Isle or Black Mummy from the Green Isle. I'm just saying, man, shit is old as fuck. Motherfuckers in southern and southwest Africa been doing shit thousands of years before the fucking Sumerians was even a thought. Only thing is, our first our first African civilizations are so old, there ain't nothing left from them bitches. You can't find barely any any kind of remnants from that shit, yo. Very, very, very few remnants of our real first civilizations. That shit is just so old, ain't nothing left from that shit. And so like the next oldest shit you got is like Sumer, but that shit ain't older than African cultures and civilizations. And then after Sumer, you got up there in Turkey, where Göbekli Tepe is at. And then after that, you come back down to motherfucking Egypt and all that shit. All that shit African, ancient African knowledge, yo. But
buildings in a city and were constructed at great cost to material resources and labor. As the size and importance of temples grew in Sumer during the Uruk period, the building and architectural techniques also evolved. The Sumerians developed the standard for Mesopotamian temple architecture during the Ubaid period, and subsequent ethnic groups would follow that template through the Hellenistic period. One architectural technique that the Sumerians developed, which was used in all later periods in Mesopotamian history, was the buttresses and recessed walls. The evolution of Mesopotamian temple complex then finally moved toward its final expression, the ziggurat. Beginning in the Uruk period, the temple complex began to...
I mean, what I what I consider the Middle East is fucking Syria, Baghdad, Lebanon, all that shit around there. That's the fucking Middle East. Algeria, all that shit, man. All that Saudi, all them Saudi motherfuckers. That's the Middle East, man. As soon as you say Morocco, hear some shit outside. It must be the snowplow truck. Yo, that shit sound. You got the African car taken away. Yeah, as soon as you cross the Mediterranean, man, nigga, you in Africa, bro. You ain't in the Middle East nowhere. Oh, that shit Africa, yo. Shit sound like it was in my fucking backyard. They scraping so hard out there.
Included tower on the platform known as the ziggurat. The White Temple at Uruk had an archaic ziggurat that rose about 40 feet above the ground, which was enough to dominate the featureless countryside for miles around. To the Sumerians, the ziggurat represented a mountain on top of which was the particular deity's abode to the temple was dedicated. In later, more literate periods of Mesopotamian history, the names of the ziggurats were recorded in writing, which indicates the theological importance of the structures. For instance, the ziggurat of the god Enlil was known as House of the Mountain, Mountain of the Storm, and bond between heaven and earth. The materials needed to build.
Yeah, the god El. There was a god that was named El, and then somebody broke down that shit like where Israel get its name from. It was the derivative of 3 different gods, yo. Is from Isis, Ra from Amun Ra, and El is Ra El, Israel. That's entomology, the origin of words and shit, I guess. I don't fucking know. But yeah, when you start studying little shit like that, like, oh, that shit does make sense. Israel. Israel. I like knowing where words come from, yo. Why they call shit certain shit. Like, when a lot of the Egyptians, like the caustic Egyptian, started moving north into like Italy and like other parts of Southern Europe, motherfuckers knew they were Egyptians, but they were roaming Egyptians, and then they got this nickname Gypsy. Motherfuckers just start calling them gypsies and shit, which was short for Egyptian.
Great structures had to be imported from long distances to Uruk, which indicates that the early Sumerian city was not just an important cultural center, but also a political hub. Today, scholars often refer to the late Uruk period as the Uruk expansion, because it is a period when the city of Uruk exercised immense influence not only throughout Mesopotamia, but also in neighboring regions of the ancient Near East. In fact, one may argue that the Sumerians of the late Uruk period created the world's first empire. The expansion of Uruk's influence was directly related to its need for resources not found in southern Mesopotamia. So the Sumerians monopolized trade networks that brought such commodities as stone, timber, and lapis lazuli to Sumer. Although the Sumerians were literate by the late Uruk period, the records are still minimal in number, and the best archaeological information of the expansion process actually comes from outlying regions, such as western Iran, northern Syria, and southern Turkey, that were influenced by Uruk. Archaeological evidence from Iran, Syria, and Turkey reveals that the Sumerian culture of the late Uruk period had spread to those regions in a manner that could be compared to other, later empires from Mesopotamia. Periods of internal stability in Uruk were accompanied by an increase in resources, which then led to expansion in the communication lines and trade networks. Incredible as the Uruk expansion was, it was also short-lived, and gave way to a common political pattern that was quite common in Mesopotamian history: competing city-states. The early dynast period, sometimes also known as the Old Sumerian or Pharaonic period, was characterized by city-states that competed with each other, often violently, for control of southern Mesopotamia.
My controller just died. Son of a bitch. Alright. I hate when my controller dies. Did I not do it? Oh my god, now the app won't connect, so I can't turn this fucking music off, bro. Jeez. Alright. Let's see.
Some of the major city-states that vied for control of southern Mesopotamia at the time were the following. Uruk, which, although somewhat diminished, continued to be important. Kish, Larsa, Lagash, Girsu, and Nippur. Although the Sumerians all believed in essentially the same pantheon, they also believed that each of their cities was home to specific deities. For instance, Nana was the patron god of Ur, while in Uruk it was Inanna. So therefore the conflicts between the various city-states of southern Mesopotamia were not driven by religion or ethnicity, but more the age-old desire for power, which in a way also ironically united the conflicting cities. It was during the early dynastic period when the title King of Kish began to be used by kings, even those from cities other than Kish. Masenapata, the king of Ur, was one such king who took the title King of Kish, which probably implied that the holder had some claim of hegemony over other political centers. King of Kish became a standard part of Mesopotamian kings' titularies from that point on. The struggle between various city-states culminated when Lugal-Zaggisi, the king of Uruk, consolidated his power to rule over all of southern Mesopotamia. Thanks to better record-keeping and a more literate society, modern scholars know more about the early dynastic Old Sumerian period, which also means that more details about the composition of Sumerian society is also known. Based on the numerous bureaucratic and legal texts that were written during the period, scholars are able to reconstruct some of the salient points that characterized the non-religious and political aspects of Sumerian society. The text revealed that households were the principal point of production and consumption during this period, but what constituted a household is slightly different than the modern definition and important.
When we see Pleiadian ships, we see light, because the Merkaba moving so fast. The Atlanteans
to define. A household in the early dynastic period could be a nuclear or extended family living under one roof. But it also consisted of temples, which were the households of deities, royal palaces, and large estates that belonged to government officials. In other words, although the various city-states may have encouraged production and even initiated it to a certain extent in the temples and palaces, the economy of the period was largely decentralized. In theory, during the early dynastic period, all the land was owned by the king or the temple, and was therefore not alienable or inheritable. But in practice, plots of land frequently remained in the hands of a single family over the course of several generations. In fact, extant cuneiform documents from the early dynastic period record the sale of land, but since there was no money in the form of cash, payments were usually made in the form of commodities, such as grain, silver, or sheep fat. The labor force in the early dynastic period encompassed most members of Sumerian society, as the men performed the more rigorous physical tasks, while the women and children were involved in textile production as they collected the wool, weaved, and finished the cloth. The political structure of the early dynastic period may have been a divergence from the Uruk period, but artistic currents appear to have followed many of the earlier conventions. Sumerian art during the early dynastic period was characterized by the eminent scholar of the ancient Near East, Henri Frankfurt, as a line of continuity from earlier periods. Although the essence of Sumerian art may not have changed much from the Uruk to the early dynastic period, statuary was a form that was greatly improved during the latter period. It is important to know that all Mesopotamian statuary was created in a religious context and usually housed in temples. This then is quite different than modern forms of sculpture or statuary of even that of the Greeks and Romans, who used sculpture to express their ideal images of beauty and to portray emperors and other important people. Perhaps the most important of all types of sculpture was the cult statue, which represented the image of the god who was believed to dwell in a particular temple. Unfortunately, since sacred cult statues were usually veiled with gold and other precious valuables, most have not been preserved. One of the best exceptions are a pair of two cult statues that were originally part of a group of 10 small statues which comprised part of the decoration of the sanctuary at Tel Asmar. Statues are a rarity, as few cult statues from the ancient Near East have been discovered in modern times. Perhaps the greatest work of Sumerian art, and most well known from the early dynastic period, was discovered in the city of Ur. The so-called Standard of Ur is actually a stela currently housed in the British Museum, which depicts a victory celebration. One side of the stela illustrates a military victory. The king is shown on the top register, taller than everyone else, inspecting prisoners. The second register shows soldiers defeating their enemies, and on the bottom register is a scene of wagon-bound warriors running over their enemies. The opposite of the war side is also a 3-register relief, but it represents the post-victory celebration. The king is seated on the top register in front of his men, while in the bottom registers, defeated peoples bring various animals and produce as tribute. The Sumerians truly established most of the cultural currents that gave Mesopotamia its quintessential character, but non-Sumerian Mesopotamians were not content to sit and watch the Sumerians do everything. The incessant fighting between the various southernmost Mesopotamian city-states was not totally extinguished when King Lugal-Zaggisi unified Sumer under one government. In fact, his actions seem to have exasperated the situation even more. Not long into his reign, Lugal-Zaggisi was overthrown by Sargon, who hailed from the as-of-yet undiscovered city of Akkad. The city of Akkad was probably located just to the north of Sumer, and was not a Sumerian city in that the inhabitants spoke the Semitic language known today as Akkadian. Sargon created a short-lived but far-flung empire that dominated Mesopotamia, but his most enduring achievement was the introduction of Akkadian, which became the language of later Babylon and Assyrian dynasties, and was the lingua franca of ancient Near Eastern diplomacy for most of the second millennium BCE. Although Sargon was a non-Sumerian who promoted and spread his native language, the warrior king also showed a deep respect for Sumerian traditions. The power of Sumerian culture deeply influenced Sargon to the extent that legal and administrative texts began to be inscribed in both Akkadian and Sumerian, and even more importantly, many myths and epics, which will be discussed more thoroughly below, were also written in both languages. Despite the Akkadians' efforts to establish a dynasty and empire that incorporated all aspects of Mesopotamian culture, past and present, their time as the rulers of the region was relatively brief. The last ruler of the Akkadian dynasty was Shu-Tural, circa 2168 to 2154, who was overthrown by an invading army of outsiders known as the Gutians. Most of the extant texts from the period depict the Gutian hordes as retribution for the Akkadian king Dharam-Sin's sacrilege toward Enlil, the head of the Sumerian pantheon. The collapse of the Akkadian dynasty empire then returned southern Mesopotamia to a similar state that it was in before, a collection of competing city-states. Since the period after the collapse of the Akkadian dynasty was an interregnum or intermediate period, not many texts have survived, but the few that have paint a picture of the Sumerians slowly rebuilding their culture. The ruler of the city of Lagash, a man named
Show me the one safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind.
You expect me to search the galaxy and deliver this creature to a race of
Gudea, appears to have been especially active in this regard.
I mean, well, you're on Playroom right now, and I'm streaming, so you kind of just answered both of your questions.
A number of statues of Gudea have survived the ages that reveal a ruler with confidence, rather than one preoccupied with the confusion of the period. One statue of Gudea contains a lengthy Sumerian inscription that relates how the Esi, a Sumerian word for city king, appropriated resources to build a temple for the god Ningirsu, who was associated with irrigation and fertility and was the patron of Gudea's city of Lagash. Part of the inscription reads, "When he, Gudea, was building the temple of Ningirsu, Ningirsu, his beloved king, opened up for him all the trade routes from the upper to the lower sea. In the Animus, the cedar mountain, he formed into rafts cedar logs 60 cubits long. In the town Ursu, in the mountains of Ibla, he formed into rafts the timber of the mountain region, Zabalam logs, great Uku wood logs, and Tulumbum logs. He made them into roof beams for the Ninu temple. From Tadinum, in the mountains of Martu, Westland, he brought alabaster in great blocks and fashioned it into Urpas slabs and erected them in the temple as barriers. From the mountains of Maluha, he imported gold in dust form and made out of it a container for his mace." This text demonstrates that despite only ruling one city during an intermediate period, Gudea was still able to establish trade routes from the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, upper and lower seas, and as far as Egypt, Maluha. Although Gudea's efforts would seem to indicate that the next great Sumerian city would be Lagash, history had another plan. As the intermediate period after the fall of the Akkadian dynasty came to a close, a new dynasty was established in the city of Ur. The Sumerian king list refers to the dynasty as the Third Dynasty of Ur, but is known by modern scholars as Ur III. The Ur III historical period is also often named the Neo-Sumerian period or the Sumerian Renaissance, because nearly all of the administrative texts were written in Sumerian. The Ur III state encompassed a geographical area that stretched from Sipar in the north, at the point where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers are the closest, to the Persian Gulf in the south. Since more Ur III texts have survived the hands of time than from earlier periods in Sumerian history, modern scholars know much more about the composition of the Ur III state. Ur III's administrative structure is well documented in a number of Sumerian inscriptions from the period. The documents show that Mesopotamia was divided into a number of provinces that were each administered by an Ansi, who was probably a member of the local elite. There was also a marchland or frontier zone that was administered by a viceroy, who was called a Sukalma in Sumerian. Documents indicate that despite the control that the Ur III kings wielded over Mesopotamia, they did not interfere in the functions of the private sector. The sources also show that although Ur was the capital of the dynasty, other Sumerian cities, such as Uruk, Nippur, and Eridu, continued to play important roles, especially in religious and ceremonial contexts. The kings of the Ur III created a dynasty that would be remembered for millennia through expansion and a number of other measures. Thanks to the plethora of written documents from the Ur III dynasty, scholars have been able to correctly assign achievements to certain kings, and as a result, personalities of some of these rulers begin to emerge. The first king of the Ur III dynasty, Ur-Nammu, 2112 through 2095 BCE, left behind the most impressive and enduring of all Mesopotamian monuments. The ziggurat of Ur is the only remaining such monument and is often depicted in pictures from the region. Ur-Nammu had the ziggurat built for the moon god, and it once stood as the centerpiece in the massive temple complex of Ur. The base measures 190 by 103 feet, and although only 2 levels remain today, scholars believe that there was once a third level. Ur-Nammu wanted to build the most impressive monument in Mesopotamia, which would immortalize him and his rule. Unfortunately for the king, his reign and life was cut short when he died in battle. Despite Ur-Nammu's short life, when he built the ziggurat of Ur, he left a legacy that was difficult for others to follow. Nonetheless, his immediate successor tried. Shulgi, 2094 through 2047, was Ur-Nammu's longer-lived successor.
You might as well wait.
Records indicate that he carried on many of the...
Might as well wait to get a PS5, bro. I think I'll just wait for it. I mean, the thing is, if you look up a brand new PS4 Pro, that's what I have. Yeah, that shit is almost the same price as a brand new fucking PlayStation. The PS5, yeah. PS5 is like $499, like retail value is $499, and if you try to get a PS4 Pro, those shits are still like $4 something, yo. These shits ain't fucking cheap. It's I don't know, like it's. I think really what they added is that new solid state drive and ray tracing is what make, and the haptic feedback in the controller. But the mid generation PS4 Pro is still a beefy ass machine. So that's what I'm saying. You should just wait to get a PS5, bro, because you're gonna spend damn near the same thing, yeah. So, and everybody was crying about Cyberpunk and how terrible it played, but I played mine on the Pro and it was as bad. There was some glitchy shit in there, but it wasn't as terrible as some other people experiences were. You gave the Pro away? Damn, dude. Yeah. I don't know. I had the Xbox One, but there wasn't any really good exclusives on Xbox for their last gen. And I don't know. I love The Last of Us Part 1, and was so amped for The Last of Us Part 2. But it's a PS exclusive, yo, and there's just like some titles that are only on PlayStation, yo. So I prefer to have the Sony platform so I can have access to their exclusives. But now Microsoft just bought fucking Bethesda Studios, so now I gotta get a fucking Xbox so I can have my goddamn Fallout series and my goddamn Elder Scrolls series. Like, what the fuck, yo? And so, like, I may get the PS5, the big boy disc version, and then get the small little mini Xbox, just so I can keep up with Bethesda Studios, because I know they're gonna put out some exclusive content. And once again, Microsoft knows that for a fact. That's why they brought that studio, because their last gen had weak ass exclusive content, yo. I mean, Gears of War fell off. They didn't redo Fable, and anything else you can get on fucking PlayStation. You don't fucking I don't know, man. But if they make the Fallout series exclusive to Xbox, I will absolutely have to own an Xbox for that shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yo. I'm gonna wind up getting both of them, but now, like, you might as well just stick with the Xbox and just wait. Just wait till, the stocks are in. It might not be until the fucking summertime, or maybe even next holiday season. But if I have to wait a year so I don't have to pay fucking $1,000 for that shit, and yo, B Games, that's what a lot of people are doing. They're like, fuck this next gen bullshit and all this other crap, and motherfuckers are building PCs. Or just getting some Alienware or whatever shit. Yo, my cousin's he's been PC gaming for fucking 6, 7 years. And he has the Stadia controller, and he pulls up his fucking, he don't got no Apple phone. He got like a Windows phone, or I don't know, he got some other kind of phone, man, but that shit look just like a fucking monitor, yo. He pull up his little Stadia controller and just play fucking um Destiny on his fucking phone. That shit look crazy, yo. But motherfuckers is pulling away from consoles, man. You know what I'm saying? If you really invest in a core and your core components of your PC, you can just upgrade that shit for 10 fucking years if you want to, yo. You know what I'm saying? Just upgrade your storage and your fucking graphics card, a newer monitor, a better keyboard or mouse or whatever. But shit, man, once you got the core system down, you just upgrade that shit however much you want to. That's what I'm saying. You surf the web, do work off that shit, emails, motherfucking do some spreadsheets and goddamn Adobe Photoshop, and then go play some fucking Zelda. I feel you. Man, I got a fucking blister on my hand, yo. I had to pop that shit. That shit hurt like a bitch too. Damn. But yeah, I noticed less and less people do stream. Nobody don't care about about the playroom no more. But niggas supposed to get I left work early because oh damn, I need to do that real quick.
Programs as Namu, with a couple of exceptions.
I actually need to send some emails out real quick, guys. Because technically I'm working from home. I can't feel my face. Yo, how come I can't find this joke? Fuck, did I not save it? Oh my god, I had to. This is stupid. Please be here. Nope. Discord? No. I'm not in. I've heard of Discord, but I'm not exactly sure what is. That's like a chat service or something like that, like a group chat or something. Not exactly sure what that is. That's how I know I don't have it. I'm not. I really don't know what Discourse is. I've heard of it though. like Facebook, but a group chat. No, I don't have it. Is it an app? I could just download it, or is it a website? Oh my God, yo, I did all this work on my computer, on my desktop in the office, and I thought for sure that it would have transferred. Like all the files should be here. Like all the files should be here, but they're not. Why aren't my files popping up? Mm, my bad, guys. This is taking way longer than I thought it was going to. I might just have to do this later on this evening. Cause yo, what up, bro? Yo, I'm so sorry, guys. Let me try to really try to figure this shit out real quick. Let me see something. I can't do it without my admin code and that shit at work. I think I almost got it memorized, but that shit is like T. I ain't gonna be able to do it. My admin password, man. That shit's so fucking long. I gotta write that shit down, man. That shit like it's like 12 characters or some shit, yo. It's a bunch of random shit. I can't remember that shit offhand. Fuck. So, well, what I was gonna try to do is, cause like I say, I'm technically working from home right now, working on some mural ideas and concepts, and I was gonna try to email my director and our grant writer, just send them an email showing them what I had worked on
It was
today,
difficult for us.
just so they can see like, oh, he's still on the clock, he's still communicating through work emails, so he is working. But I can't do that. So first thing in the morning when I get to the office, I'll just shoot him an email early in the morning.
To follow. Nonetheless, his immediate
People are not asking the right questions. They're not asking the right questions because they kind of think they already know the answer.
try. Shulgi, 2094 through 2047, was Ur-Nammu's longer-lived successor. Records indicate that he carried on many of the same programs as Ur-Nammu, with a couple of exceptions. For example, Shulgi introduced the idea of a bigger temple complex that put an end to the previous link between the temple and the neighborhood. The king's move may seem minor at face value, but the change was carried through subsequent periods and culminated with the Neo-Babylonians, who gated their temple complexes off from the rest of the city. Another significant achievement by Shulgi was the development and publication of a law code. The creation of a law code may not seem very important historically, but Shulgi's code was written hundreds of years before Hammurabi's more famous one was dictated in Babylon. The kings of the Ur-III state were also some of the first Mesopotamians to become involved in international diplomacy. The art of diplomacy was not relegated only to the modern world. Countless primary texts reveal that the various peoples of the ancient Near East engaged in complex diplomatic relationships that are still being studied and are not yet fully understood. Unfortunately, most of the texts relate to a period just after the period of the current study, 2nd millennium BCE. But a number of extant Sumerian cuneiform documents reveal that the later Babylonians and Assyrians may have followed the Sumerians in this as well. Unfortunately, no treaties or official correspondence texts have survived or are known to exist between Ur-III kings and their contemporaries elsewhere, such as Egypt. But a number of administrative texts are extant that can paint a basic picture of the situation. To begin with, it appears that the Sumerians scheduled their diplomatic and political events to coincide with religious observations. Sumerian rituals and religious observations will be discussed more in detail below, but it is important to point out at this point that the Ur-III state effectively functioned as a theocracy, like most kingdoms in the ancient Near East. The documents also reveal that the Ur-III state had a separate branch of government that was dedicated to foreign policy. The office that conducted foreign policy was known as a Sukalma, and as stated earlier, the word is often translated as viceroy. But as Charlac writes, in order to compare it to a more familiar modern term, it can also be translated as Secretary of State. The Sukalma acted as an intermediary between the king and any foreign emissary who was visiting Sumar. Also acted as interpreter if the emissaries could not speak Sumerian or Akkadian. Foreign emissaries' trips to Sumar corresponded to holy festivals on the Sumerian calendar, so modern scholars believe that these men followed the king and his court to the different festivals throughout the year. Each of these festivals was a ritual renewal of the king's legitimate right to rule Sumar and Akkad. So it was imperative that any foreign emissary who wished to curry favor with an Ur-III king attend these celebrations. To the kings of the Ur-III state, politics and religion were inexplicably intertwined, so therefore, all business of state needed to be conducted under the watchful eye of the gods and goddesses and with their consent. The extant diplomatic documents from the Ur-III dynasty represent a long tradition of Sumerian scholarship that began in the Uruk period and was inherited by later Mesopotamian peoples such as the Babylonians and Assyrians. During the late Uruk period, circa 3200 to 2900 BCE, the Sumerians first began to use writing, and within a short time, some of the earliest literary collections began in southern Mesopotamia. That said, it would be difficult to characterize the first writings as books, at least as they are known today. First, the Sumerians wrote on clay tablets that were then baked in an oven, and the nature of such a process meant that each writing was limited in space, since the entire contents of a book had to fit onto both sides of a tablet. Moreover, the very idea of a title, which is taken for granted today, had not even been invented. Despite the inherent problems concerning record-keeping that the Sumerians were presented with, they compiled the world's first bibliographies. Sumerian...
I never painted like any celebrities, really. I was thinking about finding a different picture of Ali. Like, Ali got hundreds of pictures online and shit. Like, I was going to try to find like a different picture and use that, but then if I have a better picture of Ali, it'll make the painting look different. Like, that shit wouldn't even look right. that shit right, right for you. I just used the photo you got. I just gotta finish drawing up a little bit more of it, getting a little more details on the sketch. And then we'll prime it. Yeah, I know. It's all good. I get it right, yo. But I get the sketch done. I'll prime it down, and then I'll finish that green painting back there. I'll get that done, and then I'll jump back on your piece. I gotta check on that other painting to see if that shit's gonna be dry enough by this weekend. I wanna mail that out. Oh. And can I get a shipping estimate, please?
Sure, give me 1 second. How much does this package weigh?
2 pounds.
Size?
18 by 24 by 1/2 inch.
Zip code that it's going to?
74106.
Any extra insurance?
No extra
Covered
insurance.
for $100.
Yeah, 100. That's yeah.
Ground service going by that size, you'll be spending between $13 and $15.
$13 and $15.
Yep.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay.
Shit, less than $20 to ship that shit, bro. All right, so that's good news. with that.
Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, get in on the action. And step 3.
All right, guys, here we go. Welcome back to more Hitman 3. First off, you guys take there. I know times are still kind of weird right now, so you guys are amazing. Thanks a lot, all the support, all the likes. Greatly appreciated. About to get to the main story. About to this mission called The Farewell. So last time we left off, we just finished up this one, End of an Era. Took me like 2 40-minute videos, so I don't know if they're all going to be about that length, but we'll kind of see what happens. But anyways, you guys are amazing. Go ahead and start this up, just kind of see what happens. Here we go.
I found something. Buenos Aires and...
Yo, for everybody who's questioning, this is a young D1. This motherfucker swear that he about to knock Ali out. Look at him cheesing like a bitch, yo. That motherfucker smiling like a damn Chester cat, boy. Yo, you know for the next 2 days, this motherfucker ain't talking about nothing else. For 2 days after this picture, bro, that motherfucker ain't talking about nothing else, bro. Nothing. Yo, Ali came to the gym, yo. What? Yo, I swear to fucking God, bro. I got a picture with it. Yo, Ali came to the gym, nigga. Motherfucker, hey, that's pure joy. Look at his face. That motherfucker's so happy, bro. That motherfucker in heaven right there. I got to meet the motherfucking man, yo. You know the motherfucker, you know, float like a butterfly, sting like a... That nigga, I met that nigga, yo. He said he shook up the world. Told that white man, you my enemy. Why you want me to go over there and fight in Vietnam? Some Viet Cong ain't never did shit to me. I know who my enemy. You my enemy. Yeah, that motherfucker been crazy, boy.
Airport this morning. Now watch this.
Look, mama, I'm beautiful.
But turns
I
out
shook up the
that
world.
Providence operative owns a vineyard in the area. Don Yates, of infamous New York law firm Morgan Yates and Cohen. And get this, Telsey's retirement party today.
She's infiltrated them. She's sending a message. She needs my help.
Could have fooled me.
You don't know her.
Anyway, if you're going after her, you'll need to deal with the Herald. Her name's Tamara Vidal, former CIA asset and political firebrand. She's a master of surveillance and the Constant's most trusted aide. She'll have eyes everywhere. You won't get far as long as she's in the game.
Why are you telling me this? I thought you were out.
Yeah. Old habits, I guess. Anyway, I need to go. See you around, 47.
No, you won't.
All right, I always love like the little intro things they have for these types of missions. So, all right, planning. Now I could, oh, you determine by location. When you first do a level, you can't really, let's put it on professional, you know. I like this because if you look at casual, it doesn't seem much better. Like it doesn't seem much easier. It's almost like the same thing, basically. I don't know about master. I don't think I'll ever, 1 save per mission. That's if you've done it several times. All right, planning. Look at challenge. Let's see what we got. Okay. So it's the same few, the fiber wire, notes of hemlock, poison glass of, okay, some wine, domestic disturbance. A Branson MD2 microphone. How? I guess you gotta like attach something to it. Pencil pusher. Ooh, that's like.
You and I are a lot alike.
Why is that?
In another lifetime, we could be friends.
Why?
Why not?
Why is that?
Like some John Wick action right there. Get rid of the body. Oh, so fun fact. So, Epic Game Store, the Red's my thing or whatever. But like, so on PS5, I actually linked Hitman 2 and 1 to the account as well, and it actually increased my level.
You know this was his name. Look how big this man's shirt is. Not forget. Yeah, 127 pounds. He got on the extra large shirt. What the hell? Notice the 90s. When skinny dudes walking around in fat people clothes. Motherfucker have to tighten your belt so tight, man. You have so many wrinkles around your hip with all the extra fabric from the jeans, because you really wear a size 30, but you got a 36, because you need to be baggy and saggy. And you really wear a small, but you got an extra large shirt. Welcome to the 90s. The whole Dickie set, son. Motherfucker ain't got a job in the world wearing work clothes. Yo. Alright, D, I'm gonna stop busting on you. But that's how he was in the 90s though, bruh. I'm telling you. All the dope boys on the corner got on Dickies and Timberlands. You not working. You not a mechanic. What are you doing? What you is not at work, bro. Take that shit. That's work. That's foreman clothes, man. What are you doing? Nah, this fashion. Go get me a new Dickie. Get the black one, the brown one. I ain't never had the blue set, but I had the black set was my shit, yo. But then I had a couple of like the light brown one, tan ones, Dickie suits, some butter Tims, baggy as shit. Nigga ain't got a job in the goddamn world. Swear now he got on some goddamn work clothes. 90s. But we were crazy as shit though. I don't know. Damn.
15, but I'm playing this on PC. I think after I finish, I'll switch back over to PS5 because all my progress is saved on here for this game. But I'm gonna replay the game on there just for fun, and I want to try to do a lot of the challenges as well. Like sometimes you'll see like different types of ways to take out the targets, but Pulp Friction. Hold on. The Great Crusher. Yo, hold on. Check it out. That's so sick. Look at that outfit he's got on, too. Murder by Proxy. Okay. Cold-Hearted. To Loyalty. Okay. Discovery. So we got the Hidden Hand. This guy stuff is the Providence Herald. Exfiltrate via boat. Unlock cellar door shortcut in the wine cellar. Cuckoo's Nest. Oh, sniper. On a tripod. Just chill. A Vintage Year. Grand Paladin. Guessing that's that wine. I mean, is wine that good to where you gotta... Oh, man, I guess it's, like, super rare. People might just collect it. I don't know. Everybody's got their own thing they like to collect. Underground Cave System. Grand Theft Auto. I love the name. This guy stuff is a waiter, tastemaker. So it's like... It looks like we're going to, like, a vineyard. Where there's, like, wine tasting... I guess some kind of a gala thing right here. If I had to guess, harvest season, yeah. There's a lot of like wine and grapes everywhere. Like, what is this mask? Hold on. Oh, Chameleon, yeah. End of the Sunset, Great Fills. Okay, of course. Reveal all undiscovered areas in Mendoza. There's 45 areas. Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta collect all the wine. Okay. Scandal Redacted. We don't know what that is yet. Disguise yourself as... Oh, hello, cowboy. I don't know how to say that word. I don't want to butcher that, so I'm not even going to try. Azido Chef. I'm guessing that's what that is. All right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. So let's just go ahead and get going. Get on professional art. We're good to go, guys. Let's try this out. Hopefully, we get some...
I don't know if you remember this shit called Cross Colors. Bro, I had a goddamn all red jean outfit, yo. The jacket and the jeans was fucking red, bro. Now on the back of the jean jacket, that shit said cross colors. Yo, one time I washed clothes and hung that shit on the line, the motherfucker stole my jacket. They ain't take the pants, but they took my damn jacket. I was like, damn, what the fuck, nigga? You should took the whole damn outfit. You must have been pants must have been too small for it, but something be like to fit this jacket though. Came outside to get the clothes off the line. I started taking shit down. I'm like, wait a minute. Where the fuck my damn jacket at? Gone. Nigga done got me. See, kids nowadays don't know about clothesline thieves and shit. That was a real thing when I was growing up. Like skinny kids wearing fat people clothes. That shit really happened. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making this shit up. I got photographic evidence in my hand. Photographic, man, yo, clothesline thieves is a real fucking thing. I have done it. I have had it happen to me. Go riding your bike through some neighborhoods and you ain't never been. Oh shit, what the fuck on they clothing? Let me get. Yo, them some fresh ass Levi's. Let me go snatch some shits. Bang bang. See, I come from a different era, man. You know what I'm saying? I come from the era of clothesline thieves. I know that shit is even hard for some of y'all to process that shit. Like, motherfucker would steal your clothes off your clothesline? Like, used clothes? That y'all been wearing? Like, yo, that shit been some hot shit, yo. You better keep an eye on your damn clothesline. If you ain't got no dryer, motherfucker gonna snatch your shit. Not that Paco shit, nigga. Oh my god. Yo, that Paco is my shit, yo. Damn, I can't think of the damn logo for that shit. No, I might have to Google Paco clothing. I had some of that shit. I went through some phases, like my skateboard phase. There was this one clothing company called Jinko. And they had the fucking extra baggy, like, skateboard clothes and shit. I rocked that shit for a minute, like, right before high school. And when I got in high school, motherfuckers like, oh, that shit geeky as shit, nigga. You ain't even no real skateboarder. I'm like, I got a skateboard. I know how to skateboard. Like, you be doing tricks and shit. I'm like, nah. So I can skateboard, though, nigga. Stop wearing them geeky ass clothes. Then I switched over, yo, for like a year and a half. I ain't wear shit but Tommy Hilfiger, yo. Like 9th grade, almost all the way through 10th grade, yo. I got down, I've been working too. Bruh, my whole goddamn wardrobe, Tommy Hilfiger down. Niggas couldn't tell me shit, nigga. My shoes, everything, bro. I had some like, there was like some Sperry's, like some boat shoes. But they been Hilfiger though. I remember I was going some way, motherfucker thought, look at that nigga's shoes. He got on the motherfucking white boy shoes. I like, nigga, these Tommy Hilfigers, they just look like yeah, you can't even afford these shits. Nigga, kind of fuck down, bro. I got a job, nigga. It's Tommy Hilfigers, nigga. I ain't get these shits from no fucking Payless. after my Tommy phase, I was just on everything then. I'm talking about Nautica was my shit, yo. Boss. Used to wear ass of Boss. Motherfucking the Gap. Yeah, but me and my son went to the outlet. Yo, went to the outlet mall, yo. I was like, yo, let's go up in the Gap store. He was like, what's Gap? I was like, oh my god, am I that fucking old? Nobody don't wear Gap no more? He was like, nah. I'm like, anyway, I'm gonna get you a Gap shirt, bro, just cause like this shit was popular when I was in school. You know, Nautica, Gap. I used to wear a bunch of Old Navy because that shit was cheap, but like durable. I remember I had this pair of Old Navy jeans. Man, I had them jeans about 12 fucking years, bro. Yo, I think the pair of jeans I had I swear, bro, I had a pair of Old Navy jeans for a long ass time, yo. And then like, when I got rid of them, I think I just lost them in the move or left them when I was moving or some shit. Like, and they wasn't even that fucking like. Damn it! I was like, damn. I thought whenever I got where I was going, I was like, damn, I left them jeans. Like, oh well, maybe somebody else get another 12 years out of them. But them goddamn Old Navy jeans, them motherfuckers held together like some goddamn World War II army pants, nigga. It was amazing. I used to rock them Felines just because Feli was Italian. Ooh, shit. Nigga, I had them Italian shoes on, boy. Y'all rocking them German shits. All that Reebok and all that, man. Rocking that Italian swag, nigga. Feli. I don't know what the fuck that shit mean, but it sounds saucy. Feli. Adidas. That shit sound like Adidas. It kind of fucked down, man. Ain't nobody rocking that shit, man. I'm rocking that Feli. I had them British Knights. I had one pair of British Knights and them Duckhead boots. Oh man, y'all remember Duckhead? Remember fucking Bruegel Boy jeans? Oh shit, going way back. Dudes rocking Bugle Boy and the girls rocking Jordache. Stop playing. I think the oldest pair of shit I got now is I got this old pair of knockoff Evisu shorts. I think they Evisu shorts. I know I bought them shits in like 2006 or some dumb shit. Wore them for years, and then I just started painting in them. And then, like now, I just keep them tucked away somewhere because I just like saying I got an old ass pair of shorts. This. RIP those jeans. Yo, you gotta keep the old paint. Yo, one artist that I actually met in person a couple of times. Yo, hung out with him a couple of times and shit. Yo, Tim Akamura. There's this German museum that was doing some kind of project about old painters' clothes, and he threw away a pair of his paint boots, just some old fucking Timberland boots that he painted. Them shits are paint boots that are dirty, fucking stinky, covered with fucking paint. And the museum was like, no, don't throw them away. Give them to me. And they put them on like this little platform stand and like made his paint boots into art. I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy. And they had a bunch of different like discarded painter clothes, like when they get too bad to even work in anymore. It's like, how do whoever thought of that shit to turn the artist's work clothes into a work of art themselves? Oh yeah. Alright. Yo, this shit is some blueberry wine, yo. Oh my god, this shit is just shit tasty as shit, yo. Oh man. I'm telling you, yo. I'm telling you. I used to wear a bunch of DC sneakers. I don't really wear them no more like that, but like all my old DC sneakers, I just keep them to paint in, yo. Cause I don't want to get rid of them. You gotta repurpose the clothes, man. Once they're like too dirty or tattered or worn out, like to look nice when you're going out in public. Most people just throw their shit away, but all my old clothes, all my shit become paint clothes. These used to be some nice sweatpants that I would wear to the gym or go jogging in or whatever. And then like, alright, so they're kind of worn out a little bit. So now I can just white paint on these bitches, yo. Like I don't hardly throw away no fucking clothes, yo. And then it takes years and years for paint clothes to get worn out. That's something I really do need. Like next, oh damn, it's already a new year. Damn it. So when springtime come around, every couple of years I do like a spring clean. I just go through all my clothes, and like if I haven't worn something in an entire year, I really need to evaluate that shit. Like if I ain't wore that shit I ain't put this shirt on all 2020. Do you really need to be here? Do you really need to be folded up, taking up space in my drawer right now? You know what I'm saying? Certain shit just need to get the fuck out the way. That's the kind of famous I want. I just want motherfuckers to look at my dirty ass boots and being all like, oh wow, that's so amazing. Look how the paint splatters from each individual masterpiece have accumulated all on the surface of the leather, which is a canvas in itself. A canvas that has been worn and then they'll just, roll that out and then make a long thing about it and make it sound grand when it's just some cool I don't know, man. I'm not saying it's like the banana tape to the wall idea. Oh yeah, I did art in school. I dropped out of high school in 11th grade, but I did art all the way. Oh, yeah, all the way until I dropped out of school. And then when I dropped out of school, I ain't do art. I ain't do shit with art for like 10 years, 11 years after that shit. I was selling drugs and rapping, nigga. I was about to be the next Lil Wayne. Couldn't tell me shit. Couldn't tell me nothing. I'm like, fuck school, nigga. About to get this bread. I didn't get the bread. And I obviously I didn't become a rapper. Yeah, you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn, you know, hey. Whatever, don't know, whatever. Fuck y'all look at that. It's a banana. Fuck y'all look at that. Yo, oh my god. Banksy. Banksy still got the fucking crown for me, yo. This motherfucker made a painting, put it in the auction, and as soon as the painting was sold, the frame that the painting was in shredded the fucking painting. Just shredded this shit up. And there's like dude just bought the fucking painting and then it gets shredded like here's your art. Who the fuck takes us some shit like that? And people think it's more valuable now that it's shredded, that he did that fucking stunt with it just to prove like, oh, you're gonna spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars on this? Like, alright, bet. Go ahead, spend it. Go ahead. You really? You want it? So, me shred that shit the fuck up. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was one of the best moments in art that I've ever fucking seen. Never seen nothing like it. God damn, that shit was fucking crazy. I'm the Black Bob Ross, nigga. Black Bob Ross. I try to make the shit as chill as I possibly can, yo. The hip hop Bob Ross. We just chill. And if you come in here with some drama and bullshit, y'all think some of the people in the comments are just some random motherfuckers. No, they not. Trust me. They some moderators in here right now. Some. So when motherfuckers come in, y'all think y'all about to start trolling and talking shit and causing trouble, man, y'all get... You ever play Fruit Ninja? I'm telling you, man, you get chopped so fast, but that shit be funny. All you gotta do shit, motherfucker come out of nowhere with a big ass goddamn two-handed sword. Cut all your comments right out. So if you ain't gonna chill and relax, this ain't the place for you. We only got two things going on in here, and they kind of boring. Don't tell nobody. Art and education. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what, I don't know what else y'all looking for, man. We ain't got nothing but art and education. Y'all ain't want that? This ain't the place for you. You know what I'm saying? Dope. Motherfucker gonna get chopped.
Good ways to do it. I think last time on the last mission I did like one.
We're listening to Rat Brad for a minute. He's playing Hitman 3. That's the thing too, like with the PS5 too, like all the games on the PS5 right now. Yo, watch out! I'm telling you, yo, we got sword battle axes, little hatchets, everything. Motherfucker creep up quick, whoosh, you get scalped in this bitch. I'm telling you that a lot. They some moderators in here, man. They just don't say shit. That'd be the funny part, yo. Some of the moderators just sit back and watch the whole time. They don't even say nothing. And they just waiting for somebody to say some goofy ass shit, yo. Y'all be tripping me out, man. Damn, this motherfucker threw the goddamn Wakanda swords up there, bitch. What? What? I was in here one time, motherfucker. He used one letter per comment, capital letters NIGGER. I'm thinking like, oh, you got that one off, bro. Ain't nobody in here yet. And then like somebody come and talk, hey, what the fuck going on? After that, no more comments from that dude. Yeah. Whoa, what the fuck? Who say what? Washa. Oh damn. It'd be too funny.
Storyman type thing, and then I did the other one. I just took them out. So. I know what I'm gonna do for this. We'll kind of see how it goes.
I need
the way I like
water,
this game is just
and
keep going
I need
with the
my
flow.
little palette.
Because you're not an idiot. That's just human. Get life.
Oh, this is kind of cool. You just start. Area discovered. Only 44 more locations left. All right, let's talk to Diana.
You got my message.
You never get caught on camera. Not because she wanted to be seen. So what's the blame?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47.
Agent 47.
I'm this close to becoming the next constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside.
Yo, I played the first Hitman video game. When did that shit come out, yo?
Legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate, but remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects.
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The Herald, Tamara Bedell. She has eyes everywhere.
Step 1, fire up the BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, go with your gut. Step 3, get it. Now, you're betting with the king of sportsbook.
Beware, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves the side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be. Here, I got you an invitation.
Yo. Hitman came out in 2000, yo. 21 years ago. Hitman been around for 21 years already. Yo, what up, babe? It's time they cooking some salmons. Yo. That's how you know I'm old as shit, yo. I played the first Hitman game 21 years ago. It's fucking crazy as shit.
Just like our times.
Right.
Come find me when it's done.
One thing I will say, so after playing on PS5 for a little bit, now switching back
I know
to
that's
PC,
right.
I don't know, I mean, it's tough to nowadays tell, like, a difference. I do feel like PC's still going to be ultimately, like a superior experience on most games, if not all games, that are available in that. So, I don't know. I'm just so used to using, like, mouse and keyboard now. But when I was using the PS5, like, the adaptive triggers on the sniper mission are insane. It's just such a crazy experience. So I'm looking forward to after I finish this game, I might do some of the sniper contracts on there or something.
For more than 2 decades, New York-based law firm Morgan Yates & Co. has been among the most successful and the most controversial companies in the United States. Founded in the
Stole that man's soda. I'm out, baby. We out of here.
Yes, sir. I have the file.
Just do not eliminate Diana. Oh, let's check. Do we see? Okay, I see right over there. Oh, they're up there. Oh, man, this is gonna be a tough one. Easy, buddy.
Easy, buddy.
Okay.
Easy.
Invitation. Maybe that was that guy's invitation. Nah, he's not gonna get it. A story developing, maybe? Catwoman? All right. Per usual, I will be saving quite often. I think I'm playing online this time, so maybe my stuff actually matters. But I have a feeling I'll get disconnected. Can I go? Oh, I have an invitation, so yeah, let's hand it over.
Gracias, señor.
Like I handed him a soda.
Behind America's student loan crisis, predatory lender Navient. Families are struggling while Navient cashes in. Even for Americans who've lost it all in bankruptcy,
Yo, why
Navient
can't I
keeps
find?
collecting.
Yo, I'm
A
looking for
company
this
with a
one
right.
brush, and I swear to God, I don't fucking.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you, level of detail. Not a lot of games do this. You know? I hope this is not copyrighted. It's like you can
Wow, I
poison the
cannot
wine, that's why
find
it's
this
highlighted.
zone for nothing just now.
We don't have the rat poison right now.
Power players dropping like flies.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now, thank you so much for just supporting me over the years. You know, I sit here sometimes and think about it. I remember back in 2012, I played Hitman Absolution on my channel. It was the first one I played. Obviously, I played the originals, but it was, I mean, when I was like a lot younger. So, yeah, I mean, just, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, sometimes when I'm making videos, I'm like, hello there. People are gonna watch this. This is crazy. Like, right now I'm talking to myself technically. So it's like I try to take that into stride. Now, one day I would. My voice is cracked right here. One day I'd like to actually try and maybe do like a live stream type thing. Hold on, this better not be lethal. Okay, it's not. I'm about to say this better not be. There's a thing that says collect all of them. Where's that one? Oh, I got some intel, huh? Yeah, the bit. Okay. Not gonna worry about that.
It's weird for guys who normally record their videos. It seems hard for them to do a live stream.
And you know what's funny? I'm not even sure why I'm doing it.
And for me who do a live stream, it seems hard for me to record my videos. But we did do wow, I can't fucking
I got
talk.
like a bunch
God
of these.
damn. We
You
did
get
a.
all three. That's funny.
Is it because I'm trying to talk over him? I think so. Jesus Christ. We did an episode of Cooking with the Prince, but it was like an extended like Joan. So we're gonna edit that down and just put it up and see how responsive a pre-recorded video is. I'm not sure how to edit this thing though. It's like, should I leave the original audio in and splice in some narration behind it, or should I just like do a complete voiceover for the whole thing? I'm not sure. But we did that the other night instead of just doing a live cooking with the Prince. We're just testing some stuff, trying something real quick. Because quiet as kept, we're gonna do a couples channel. So hopefully the content will be a little bit more I guess female friendly. Not saying that my channel is just for dudes, but you know, I'm a dude, so I get it. But then dudes like looking at chicks, and then chicks like having, you know, stuff for them too. So yeah, my girl is cool as shit. And so I feel like if we do a couples channel, but we just gotta test some stuff out and do like some test videos and stuff. But look out for that. A voiceover with music between, you know. But then what I'm gonna wind up doing is really like segmenting the whole video, and then like zooming in on some parts and speeding up some parts, and maybe completely clipping out some parts. Oh, my bad. It got quiet.
The ultimate goal is to get after the 2 targets, but it's the ways you want to do it. I think what's best is you want to, you know, kind of explore around, see what mission stories proc. Sometimes they're worth following, sometimes they're not. It's the same wine. I think, is that, oh, I don't have that one. Can I take that? I got them all. How convenient.
How convenient.
All right, I got all the wine now, so we're good. No one bats an eye.
Oh, so I shared some good news yesterday. I'll share it again. Because it was just Monday, yo. Like, a lot of good shit happened Monday. So I got a call from a local college, Luzerne County Community College. Damn, how did I meet her? Oh, I did my taxes. This wasn't last year. This was the year before last. I did my taxes at like this little tax service, and I wind up giving the lady who did my taxes my business card, and it was like they were Spanish people. Her and her brother were running the office, and she was like, "Oh, your art is nice. I work at the university." I mean, she said, "I work at the college." I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm in a department of." She was like a board member of the diversity something at the college, and she was like, "Oh, one of the other staff members, he's the head of our NAA or something like that, man." And she was like, "I'm gonna give him your card." I'm like, "Cool, that's what's up." And so she wound up giving a dude my card, and then she called me like a few days later. She was like, "He wants you to come to the school and have a show." I'm like, "Word?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's what's up, yo." So I wound up having a solo show on the college campus. And so yesterday I was at the office, and I was actually doing an intake for a new client, and I got a phone call, and it said Luzerne County. I'm like, I normally don't answer numbers that are random like that. I get a bunch of fucking weird ass callers, but it's like Luzerne County. I'm like, okay, that might be something. I answered it, and the dude was like, "Hey, Mr. Prince, this is damn. I can't remember his name now. Damn it." But he said his name, and I still didn't know who he was. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Yeah, I work at the college." And that shit still ain't fucking click, yo. I'm like, "Okay, hey, what's up?" He was like, you had some art, and you told me to read the one book by the lady, and you had the art show." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, what's up?" He was like, "You still painting?" I hate when people ask me that. I just want to be so sarcastic immediately. Like, "Nah, motherfucker, I just stopped. I just painted for 2 days and stopped."
Some people do stop though.
Yeah, I get it. He was like, "You still painting?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I'm still painting. What's up?" "Well, I want to have you back at the school, man. If you want to come back again, I'll get something set up for the springtime. If you got some stuff you want to show." I'm like, "Hell yeah." Cause like I say, I ain't sell no painting, cause man, can't nobody hardly afford my art, yo. But my prints, yeah, I sold damn near all my prints out that bitch, yo. So I go out there, show some art, talk to the little college kids, rub elbows with the goddamn professors and shit, and try to sell like $150 worth of prints real quick. I'll do that shit. So got that shit set up, and then damn, there was something else.
Ricky said congrats.
Oh, thanks, yo. And then well, I got an email yesterday, and then I actually had a phone call today. I did a anti-racism talk with the Community Behavioral Care Council and their staff. Did a talk with them for about 40 minutes in December, and they gave my organization like a pretty decent donation for me just talking for 35-40 minutes. And one of the employees who participated in that conversation talked to somebody else in Luzerne County, and this guy thought it was so interesting that he was like, "I need to talk to that man." And so we were supposed to set up like a little conference call, but the guy wasn't able to make it. But the lady kind of filled me in some more, saying whatever organization he's a part of, he's they're basically trying to figure out how to bring more diversity to the area so we can grow economically and culturally. And they got a grant for a 4-year study on which programs and which processes can bring and retain more minorities to the area. And so he wants to talk to me. Well, that's kind of how she broke it down to me. And so the guy who's over that organization wants to speak to me about speaking with his people, or I don't know, joining their board, or being like a liaison, or some kind of contributing factor towards that. So that's fucking awesome. And then, this guy, he was a manager at this cafe, and a couple years ago he had me do a little art show at his cafe. Had me in there in February, of course, but it was pretty good, man. Got a lot of good reception. I got a lot of followers off of social media. Didn't really sell any art, and I didn't have any prints there for sale, so it was more just like, he just let me hang some art for the month of February in the cafe, and it's like a pretty chill spot, like for hipsters and shit. So it was a chance for a different demographic of people to have a chance to see and view my art up close in person. And this guy, he just contacted me the other day out the blue. He was like, "Yo, you want to do a photo shoot?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." He's like, "Cool, when are you free?" I'm like, I'm normally off on the weekends. He's like, "That's what's up. I'm trying to holler at you this weekend." So I guess he wants me to model, because he does photography. And so I'm guessing he just wants me to model for him, which I haven't been asked to model for someone else in a long ass time, so that's pretty dope. And then there was something else. Oh, this one artist I interviewed. If you go to my my syndicated TV show, Roundtable Discussions on Electric City Television, a couple months ago, I did an interview with a photographer named Dino De Naples. And last week or the week before last, I had to do another photo shoot for Black Stratton. And while I'm on the photo shoot, Dino calls me with an idea for another episode to my TV show, because he's a part of a skateboard crew, and they've been trying to get like a skate park put up around the city somewhere for years, yo. And the city just kind of always throws them to the side, or for whatever reasons have been making it so hard that they can't like get a skate park established around here. So they just wanted, and most of them are artists. Most skaters are artists in some kind of way anyway. Even skating is an art form itself. Anyway, they want to come on the show just to get some TV time to yell at motherfuckers and shit. But I'll do that shit, just talk about like how positive a skate park would be, and how, how would it give kids something to do, yo, and somewhere to keep their ass out of fucking trouble, and going places where it's illegal to skate and then get in trouble like dumbass shit like that. Just put a fucking skate park somewhere. And there's this big ass fucking grocery store that they closed down. It was an old Wise, and it's down in the south side of town. And that shit has just been sitting there for like I'll say at least 3-4 years. 5 years, at least 5 years. And I'm like, yo, that big ass, it's like the size of a Walmart. Like, man, you can gut that shit out and make that shit into an indoor skate park. But nobody ain't want to, man, like, they won't get the kids nowhere to fucking skate. Then everybody be out that shit. Scooters, rollerbladers, skateboarders. So I already talked to the film crew, and so I'm just waiting for them to see when it'd be the best time to get everybody in the studio. So I asked the I asked the guy, like, you know, when the best time for him and his crew, because he wants to come with, like, 3 other guys. And so I'm like, however you guys organize your schedule, you know, just let me know. He was like, yo, fuck that. Y'all, you let us know when we can get in the studio, and I'll make sure the guys come. I'm like, all right. And so now it really falls on the film crew. Whenever the film crew said they can get in there and turn on the lights and run the fucking cameras, then we'll go in there and do an interview with the skateboard crew. So that's some cool shit that's coming up. And it's still just fucking January. How many days I got left? Shit. I'm going for a record this month. And working on another commission right here. Just got this started.
So how much do you charge for prints?
How much do I charge for prints? Lots and lots of dollars. Lots of dollars. Nah, my smaller prints are $25, and my 18 by 24 inch stock cardboard like poster prints are $40. But that's signed. You're really just paying for my signature. I ain't gonna lie. It's really good quality. And
so if you pay $40, you're gonna get the signature.
Yeah. No, you get the signature on the smaller ones too, but that's really what you're paying for, cause this is the thing, like if anybody loves my art so much, like one dude told me, he's like, oh, I have like your paintings as my screensaver on my computer. I'm like, that's what's up, bro. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? So anybody can get my shit if they want it. You know what I'm saying? You can go on my Facebook right now and just print some shit out if you want to. Or you can even take it to the fucking a print shop yourself and like, yo, print this picture out and print it out nice and pretty for yourself. But you'll never have my original signature on that shit. So that shit won't ever, never, ever be worth nothing. But if you get it from me for the $40, you get that original Travis Prince signature on your print, authenticating it. And it will increase in value as my name increase in value, as it should, because a prince always becomes a what? Assassinated. What?
Assassinated, that's what I said.
You need to read The Prince by Machiavelli. Damn, I'm happy I got this brush. This brush right here is so made for what I'm doing right now. Just for like some lines. I think this is a watercolor brush. And I picked it up without even looking at like what section it was in. I was like, damn, this is a nice ass brush. I'm gonna use it for my water-based paints. And I looked up, it's like watercolors. You gotta stay busy, bro. Know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell him. I'm trying to sit down when I'm 55, man. I need to get some other shit established, bro. And start investing some money, some kind of different ways, and get some goddamn what's this called, babe? Help me out. Money that you just make while you sleep.
Oh, some passive income.
Passive income, some residual income. I need all that shit, man. I just need money coming in the mailbox, just popping up in the bank account like deposit, e-deposit. I gotta figure that shit out before I'm 55, cause I ain't trying to be working when I'm 60. By the time I'm 60, I shouldn't be doing nothing but painting. That's it. That's all I should be doing by the time I'm 60 years old. I shouldn't be doing nothing else. And my shit should be selling for like 20 grand, 30 grand a pop. I ain't got a lot of time. I ain't got but 20 years, but hey, I can make it do what it do in the next 20 years. After this next 20 years, I ain't trying to do shit, bro. I'm telling y'all right now. If I can't just live off my art, bruh, just start prostituting. Fuck.
There's a lot of old lonely women out there.
Hey, be a 60-year-old prostitute, gigolo.
Hey, if she's 80, she'll still think you got it.
Shit. I'll be in the old folks home.
Painting faces.
Damn.
Get your face paints here.
I need to watch One Night in Miami. If y'all still ain't watch American Skin, I ain't gonna tell y'all no more. I swear to God, this is the last time I'm telling everybody, yo. I ain't gonna say it after this. I promise you, because you just gonna miss the fuck out. And then a couple years, like 2 years from now, you gonna watch that shit be like, damn, why ain't watch that shit when it first came out? But American Skin with the boy name, Nate Parker. You need to watch that. Everybody need to watch that. And not by yourself neither. You need to watch it with your wife, or your aunt, or your neighbor, your best friend, or with somebody. All of them together at the same time, if possible. Oh, how somebody just got this clip up here, yo? This nigga killed this shit. Where the fuck, yo? Just out of the blue, somebody just pop this up. You ever seen this thing?
Hey, we clear the table with the drinks and shit, homie. Check it out. We're gonna do this shit right here. This is called Do It Like I'm Used to It. Hey, my name is Royal Rock. You know what I'm saying? This is my homeboy Clue, This is Chronic Funk, of course. We from Pomona, and we're gonna drop this old dope shit like this right here. This is called Do It Like I'm Used to It. Yeah. And it's on the cream jacket. Just take out the sticks out, and we up in here. Talk to you, little nigga.
Yo, he got a pen, a coin in his hand. That's all he doing making that beat, yo.
Gotta do it like I'm used to it, bitch. Let the music blow on the channels in your brain as your eardrums twitch. This boogie on the fire, swing. Brings a nigga to his sunshine. Who's got chronic and hoes on the street? Tip-top to the bathroom, I brush my teeth. Look in the mirror, seen that G. Then he hurries up the door to a pancake flow, so I can go now like a pro.
Yo, how you make the beat and rap at the same time, yo? He's making the beat while he rapping. I don't know what that is, yo. But I seen this shit on like Facebook like years ago, yo. I forgot where that shit come from. You know they on the West Coast, Nigga named Sugar Free, Royal Rock, Classic Freestyle. And there's this other dude, yo. He was in a school, yo. That motherfucker, I seen this right here, yo. But that motherfucker is in the school, like.
That raw freestyle. We sit sideways.
You can catch me hitting sideways. It's something pretty with the ratchet on me. I stay strapped cause I always keep a package on me. Dirty, you get serious niggas down here. Y'all niggas had it up to now. This is my year. I'm dirty, moving coke through the turnpike. These niggas call me Michael Jackson cause they know the dawn turn white. I live the goon's life and move with the moonlight. 100 bricks in the dark, I turn the room white. Greenville, we grinding around here, sitting sideways with guns south of diamonds, hotels. Step your swag up, I only move with smart dudes. And my trap pump more than your heart do. Fish scale, yeah, I'm starved for life. Slanging bricks in the jungle, a Tarzan price. Plus the money longer than the vines he swing on. While y'all niggas breaking buds, we cutting bells with the chainsaw. Dirty, here's the clip when the cop man carbon 15. I go drums in a rock band. Riding the drop man, I got plenty raw. White on white being the same color as some dinner floss. Fuck bad fish, scared up with big fish. I'm so ready, you can call my money fish sticks. You can catch me sitting sideways and something pretty with the ratchet on me. I stay strapped cause I always keep a package on me. Dirty, they get serious niggas down here. Y'all niggas have it up to now. This is my year. Okay. I'm dirty and my eyes sitting real low. And the coupe doors up like I just kicked the field goal. And hop off in the Tahoe. I blow so much color purple, you can call me Hypo. Y'all niggas can't get close to the door. Yeah, I got more straps than your mom's throw to the dogs. Bloody dollar make the fatal, homie. If I kill you, only way they find you is they gotta cut a couple gators open. I've been gangster since I've been born. And these pussy niggas phonier than a 3-cent coin. I'm a the game. I blow your fucking head off. Chopper so big, I pull my fucking leg off. Sitting sideways. I gotta kill the track. I swear to God, I got my white the opposite of black. This game been mine, and y'all trying to get it back. And plus, I love all y'all haters shit. Opposite of track, and I got a red flag, and I got a red hole, and I'm grinding off in China, so I'm getting red dough. Fuck a little peanut butter whip a red roll, in the inside Rudolph, outside red nose. I keep talking money, you heard I'm dead rich. That mean I got more fish and bread than Jesus fed with. You can catch me sitting sideways. Something pretty with the ratchet on me. I stay strapped, cause I always keep a package on me. Dirty, it gets serious niggas down here. Y'all niggas heard of it now. This is my year. Okay, homie. Dirty. Now shit's about to get wicked. And bullets jumping out the chopper like some motherfucking crickets. Greenville, that's my home, nigga. Dirty Hills. Ain't nothing for a nigga to get murdered here. I'm moving quick fast for this quick cash and keep a package on me like a nigga with a shit bag. Fresh out of jail, so the Don Jordy Conway hit the runway and holler fam off in Conway. This the Don way, matter of fact the Don day. And I only move 2 blocks like a pawn play. This my day off and don't feel like touching nothing. But I got some cocaine that's jumping like she double dutching. You can catch me sitting sideways.
He from South Carolina. Nobody never heard this nigga though. You know who else from South Carolina that people did hear about, but he can't, I don't know, he never made it. Maybe because of his disability or whatever, but this dude from Conway, that's why that black dude just say, I'll be pumping off in Conway. That's South Carolina, yeah. This motherfucker from Conway, South Carolina, yeah.
I drank lean, not roll with tussin', you know I'm bugging. I told her we related, just so the bitch would blow my cousin. I'm coming back and I'm spitting fire. And you singing Jeremiah, I won't retire, I'm gonna get higher. I'm gonna be flyer, you a fucking liar like 6C. Lyrically, y'all be killing me up in the industry. I drink vodka mixed with the Hennessy. I really don't do that, but you get it, B? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me kill him with the flow. Snip another quarter ounce of blow. Put a nigga nose, cause the motherfuckers already be knowing and I'm touring on the road. I be like, whoa, like a black Rob, motherfucker, I be getting on that job. And she wanna swallow my knob like pill on the car. And they know that you're gonna get robbed. I'm back on my shit. Y'all already know that I will not quit. I'm too legit like MC Hammer. I'm just shit in the pamper. You say word to my grandma. Woo!
Oh.
Sipping on Douce, I'm popping your bitch in a Gucci, cause she's juicy, just like her booty. I'm the main like Gucci. You probably didn't get it, but I'm with her, what I was in the kitchen. These motherfuckers know that I be terrific and I've never written. The motherfucker really be spitting. Whoa, let me get on the beat. I made your bitch spit on my meat. And
Blind Fury. Yeah, that motherfucker too crazy, yo. But I don't know. He got a little hype from the freestyle battle Jones. He was on MTV, and he ain't never get no deal or nothing. Once again, South Carolina just kind of falls a little short, yo.
Off this battle's about to jump up and get into the show. What's your name and where you from, homie?
What's up, New York? This K9, man. Represent New Boston, Texas.
Stand up. Represent New Boston. You been seeing this guy. You ready for this guy?
Been ready, man. I was born that way.
He did. This is it right here, yo. He killed that shit, yo. But nobody still don't know who the fuck Blind Fury is, yo. From South Carolina. Lugolf, South Carolina. That's right by Camden.
What's been the reply from the streets? What are the streets saying since you've been on the show?
a lot of them can't believe my Twitter, but I do, you know, my laptop talks, but that's neither here nor there. But no, everything is positive. It's all love, man, you know. Shout out to Ace KO and all that, man. It's love, man.
All right, so we about to get this on and popping now. Guys, here go the rules. There are no cursing, no foul language, no sexually explicit lyrics. Each MC gets 30 seconds in round 1, followed by another 30 seconds in round 2, and after that, we gonna wrap things up.
Without cursing and saying nothing explicit.
I need y'all to touch mics.
Come on, man.
Yeah, baby, and I need y'all to respect my site.
We gotta have a PG battle for MTV.
I'm here in New York. You know what I do, baby. Hey, come on, like this. My boy Blind Fury. You dance, man. I need him on. It's like this. Hey, you being blind ain't gonna be till I get the finish. My stomach growling now and you look like a turkey sandwich. No challenge. I should have been in married to Paris. Cause the game over wrapped up like Ace Bandit. Yeah, I spit heat in your fitted hat. You gon' need help. I think this called Diddy back. I'm alive. This dude here, Diddy cat. Flow played out like an old game of Diddy cat. Yeah, I ain't worried about a Blind Fury. Only when I lose if I'm judged by a blind jury. I'm talking about. Hold on. First of all, I want to be clear. That was a nice way to come out the gate right there. You do some nice jazz. Blood, you ready, baby? Let's go. Bring the beat back.
Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Came out another one. Yeah. I'm about to show you the blind dope shit. I promise you, I feel like the side won't hit you. You when you look K9, I'm a beast. Grinding deep and your rhyming is weak. You're trying to be deep. Keep that loose. Change the name from K9 to Dog Doodle. I do it too. Seem like Roman News. You couldn't rhyme honest like Watch Top of the Fruit. Yeah, and take that back to Texas. I'm over the chain like I snatched half your necklace. I eat rap cats for breakfast. Hope you don't forget it. You can go catch the message.
Just killing these cats, yo. Everybody, yo. He won that whole joint, though.
I don't even got nothing to say. That was round 1, bro.
That was just round 1? Yeah, he made you strip out your clothes in round 1. Alright, guys, we got 2.5 hours already on a... Well, it was an after work stream, but I did get in here kind of early, though, because I left work early. So it's just not 4 o'clock. But I need to let this dry a little bit before I finish toning it.
Come on, Pusa. Come on.
So this is how far we've gotten so far. might just speed dry this thing and go ahead and get it toned now. Alright, if I set that in front of the heat for a few minutes and make sure that outline is good and dry before I tone the canvas, I'll go ahead and tone it before I go downstairs. Let me see if I can put this shit up.
I said, no, 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 no. Well, no, 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 no. Well, I should've just let you alone. When I found out what kind of stuff you was on, I thought that our love was strong, but I was wrong. Well, and maybe I was just so gone that I couldn't see that you was a fool. Now it's time for me to move on and get out on my own. Well, see, I'm still trying to find the reasons why. Well, I chose to sacrifice so many years of my life. Well, and all we did together was fuss and fight. Yeah, and I spent too much time trying to make things right. But now I see the truth. I didn't mean nothing to you. I was just someone that you could use, and I let you do it. So what is the use of trying to save you when you don't really love me like you say you do? No, 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 no. You don't love me like you say you do. No, 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 no. Man, got no more tickets to you. So you can go ahead and do what you do. Cause baby, I'm through with you. And please just leave me alone. I'd appreciate it if you stop calling my phone. Cause baby, I'm moving on. Now that you're gone, well, I'm still trying to find the reasons why. Well, I chose to sacrifice so many years of my life. Whoa, and all we did together was fuss and fight. Well, and I spent too much time trying to make things right. But now I see the truth. I didn't mean nothing to you. I was just one that you could use, and I let you do it. So what is for you? I'm trying to save you when you don't really love me like you say you do. No, 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 no. You don't love me like you say you do. No, 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 no. You don't love me like you say you do.
Next pillow. Why did...
That shit was hot. All right, let's see.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's weird, man. It's like, I wonder what's going on. I wonder if, like, there's a thing that happens to a virus when it goes through a number of hosts, that it sort of dies off, that it becomes weaker, you know, and that's part of herd immunity. Part of herd immunity is a bunch of people develop antibodies for it, and also, like the Spanish flu. Like, the Spanish flu kind of just died off. And there's a thing about Fauci the other day. He said the virus plateaued. The problem is, like, you don't know with these motherfuckers how much of what they tell you is political. Like, how much did they not tell us while Trump was in office, and how much are they telling us now? You know, like, in terms of what's safe and what's not safe, opening businesses, what you can do for your health. Like, It's weird. It's such a fucking weird time.
I guess the UK has a new version that's more deadly, not more contagious, but more deadly.
Another new one?
Yeah, it just came out yesterday or today.
It just came out. Mixtapes.
I know.
Oh God. Yeah.
And China's wide open. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Or where it started. I saw this whole thing where they're just nightclubs are all open. Everyone's like going crazy.
I don't know about that. If that's real, that might be propaganda. You might get there and fucking everybody's welded inside their homes. You know.
Yeah.
Like who knows? Yeah. But I do know New Zealand, which has 0 cases at all. Dan Hooker just fought on Fight Island, and he can't go home. He's from New Zealand. He can't go home until he's quarantined until February 21st. So if that means maybe if he goes home, he has to just sit tight and can't go anywhere and can't leave the house till February 21st, where he goes outside. But they have like very strict quarantine laws when you get outside the country. I think they have that in America too, right? What is this?
Oh yeah.
This is Wuhan now.
Look at that.
Yeah, but it's not real.
Yeah. But these pictures are just like from the 20s, just a couple days ago.
They do kind of have masks. Some of them do. The one
They
lady's
always wear
like,
masks, right?
she pulled out her mask to smell that dude later. Hard to smell you. Wow, February 2020. Yeah. And here we are in 2021, and they're buck wild. So what has happened? It's gone through the city. They haven't been vaccinated, right? Do they have a vaccine?
I wonder if everyone just got it.
We'll look through to see if they have a conclusion here.
Finally, people are accepting the idea that this might have come from a fucking lab. It's hilarious. I brought it up once with Brett Weinstein and some fucking ridiculous liberal smear website was saying that I'm promoting a dangerous conspiracy that it emanated from a lab. Like, the fucking lab is right there. That's not a conspiracy theory. The lab's right there. Like, it's not like we're making up the fact that there's a level 4 lab right there. It's fucking right there. There's 2 labs there, by the way. Like, what are you talking about? Is that a dangerous conspiracy? Because they thought it was because Trump was such a problem for so many people. Any theory that you had, if Trump was like anti-China, you couldn't say anything that possibly would connect China to making a mistake that caused virus to be released. You would be you'd be alt-right. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free, only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data costs, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.
There is nothing worse than snuggling up to a man that smells like this. This goop, total mood killer. So this...
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I was in college. I was a basketball player, right? And my coach tells me, Mark, there's some European scouts that are interested. Maybe after, next year, they may want to give you a tryout. European pro basketball, right? But they all say they want to get you, they'd like for you to be a little bigger because of the style they played back then. Okay, so I start lifting weights, trying, 6'8", 230, 240, which is in the 80s is huge for a basketball player, but still. So I started training.
European League where they just more physical.
Yeah. That it was like Mick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer, on the gas. They were just monsters. And so I started training, and I'm trying to, put on size and strength. And I met this guy in the gym who was like, every day I come in, he goes, man, I'm gonna get into this wrestling. Why don't you do wrestling with me? And I was a big wrestling fan as a kid, but as I got into basketball and football and everything else, I kind of drifted away. And I was just like, man, I think I'm gonna go try to play some pro ball in Europe. And he goes, man, you should really try and do this with me, So I kind of started getting in touch with the product again. I kind of started watching again, and I had no clue I'm thinking, I'm kind of got fall back into it again, right? I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's different. And I think one of the things that's helped me through my career is being a realist in what my talents are and what my talents aren't. And, I was like, kind of start having these conversations with myself, like, even if you do make a team, I mean, how long do you really have? Like, and being 21 and sitting on the end of the bench in Lithuania just really wasn't that appealing. Yeah. I'm trying to weigh it up against what I'm seeing on TV, right? I'm like, because you got the Von Erichs and you got Hogan, and I'm like, well, shit, these guys are huge household names, and so I'm thinking, maybe I ought to give it a try. So we find this guy by the name of Buzz Sawyer to train us, right? And I got to come up with $2,000, and I ain't got a pot or a window to throw it out of, right? So I get my oldest brother, to co-sign a loan, hawk everything I own, and come up with $2,000 to pay Buzz Sawyer to train me to wrestle. Show up to his house, first morning of training, right? Buzz was he was a good amateur, really good amateur. And show up at his house, knock on the door. There's about 10 of us standing out in the fucking front yard, knocking on the door. Finally, fucking door swings open. What the fuck you want? Hey, he's standing there butt ass naked. Woke him up out of a dead. He's just standing there naked. And everybody's like, we're here to train? And he goes, oh, fuck, is that today? Yeah, and so he gets another guy that was standing there with him. His name was Barry Jackson, who I'm friends with to this day. He says, go out there and warm them up, right? So he goes out there and we run and do everything they could do to blow us up and run us off. Totally gassed out, about 2 hours, just nothing but cardio shit, right? Finally, Buzz comes out. All right, everybody line up. All right.
All right, guys. Yeah, I appreciate everybody checking out the stream for a little while. That light out, yeah. So that's off, and that's off, and that's off, and that light is out, and that is off. All right. So yeah, appreciate everybody coming into the stream, checking out the progress on yet another commission project that I have from a good friend of mine's. If you guys saw the first phase of this painting, you should definitely stick with me for the next couple of weeks so you can see the progression of this piece and how it turns out. If you were a first-time viewer to the stream, appreciate you coming in. Definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get alerts when I go live. And what else? Yeah, if you guys are not on my social media, I'm not very active on Twitter or Tumblr anymore, but Instagram and Facebook at Paintings by the Prince. You can definitely, my Instagram is probably the best for just my art. I need to update my Facebook more often. But Instagram has all my latest art and all the latest events and everything that I'm doing. So you can follow me on there. And you guys have a good evening. Catch you next time. Peace.